Oh hey, it's that time. Sorry, I was walking up the stairs. My glasses are real bad today. Stephen will be here in a second. He's making tea and wanted honey. Much better. Now I can read chat. Good morning, everyone. My glasses aren't perfect. Like, they're not the exact prescription I need, so. But that's why I normally switch to contacts. Figured I'd wipe my phone down while I was at it. That's better. Contacts are way better. What's the old commercial? Look with your special eyes. That's how I feel. We have a 3-month resub from Luna's Mama 23. Thank you, my brand. 32-month resub from Nessa Zorro. I'm wearing an old style of contacts because they said it's better for me. So I have old ones. Vintage contacts. Yeah, like they were like, there's new technologies, but you probably shouldn't use them. Congratulations, Cordelia. That's awesome news. Niece gifted a sub to Yangton233. Thank you for the gift sub. Clefairy Rock says I cannot wear contacts. My blink reflex is too strong. Yeah, I've been talking to a friend about that for them. They want to try contacts, but... We have a 6-month resub from Nita307, 69 nice resub months from Space Vixen Music. We have a 12-month resub from Cosplay Theory. Congratulations on the 1. 5 months from Shadowstar Dylan. Another 69 nice months from Kaylin Lux. 12 months from Tashi B. Congratulations on your 1. And a 3-month resub from Rad Raptor. Thank you all. Did you find the honey?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I was late because I cleaned the honey cap.
Mm.
You know how when you got...
It sometimes gets honey on it.
The honey cap gets honey in it and like around it. So like I went to open the honey... And the honey is like stuck shut because there's honey in the crack of the cap. And I was like, I hate this. Because as an adult, you don't want sticky.
Yeah.
So I spent like 3 to 5 minutes just intricately cleaning.
Thank you.
Because I was like, I don't want, I don't want a honey crack. Anyway, I have tea. Realizing now I didn't stir the honey in.
Do you want my spoon? Let me finish stirring my coffee.
I just put all the honey on the bottom to sit at the bottom.
Sorry, I tap to make sure I can feel No sugar? And I was feeling sugar. You're about to elbow me in the face, aren't you? You can, like, put your arm down.
This is painful.
Then lower the cup.
Oh.
You're probably good. You can leave the spoon in there.
You want this back?
No, I don't need it.
There's nowhere to put it.
Leave it in the cup.
It's gonna bonk me in the nose.
Then use your hand like this and keep it from doing that. I know this is your first time being a person. Like, this is what I do. Is I have my cup and then I use my finger like this to put the spoon here.
Yeah, but that means that you're holding the cup with your hand.
It's not that hot. That's right, we've had this conversation.
I cannot touch the cup. Can you touch this cup?
Yes. We had this conversation. Brandon brought it up yesterday or the day before or something.
Someone created this man. I have to scroll up. Jess said someone created this man with limbs out of spec and the animations don't fit right. No lies detected. It bonked me.
Well, put your thumb further over it so that it hits the thumb.
Hey.
Come by.
Come by. We had 40 months from Kayak 1099. 300 bits from Satsy. It says, sending some good vibes to Fire Luigi 64, who was having a miserable morning. Wanted to give it some notice for those who may have missed their asking. Good vibes. Well, good vibes to Fire Luigi. That's very kind. 37 months from Lord Mattapon. And also 12 months from Barber Frog. I have a bit of a sore throat this morning, so I'm having some hot tea. I don't think I'm sick.
I don't think you're sick either.
I don't think that's it. I tried a new mouthwash last night at the recommendation of my dentist, which I guess the dentist appointment was a bit ago, but I only got around to the mouthwash part yesterday. And I was like, sure, let's try this. And then this morning, my throat extremely irritated, and I'm like, cool. Dentist loves recommending acid wash because he gets more business. I would hope it would be obvious, but yes, I did spit out the mouthwash. The reason, like, that's already...
It's not a standard normal mouthwash.
No, it's not. And one of the reasons I think it might be the mouthwash specifically, in addition to just that, is that before I put the mouthwash in my mouth, I had the mouthwash in the thing, and as a bit of information, I historically have not done well with mouthwash. And the reason I haven't done well with mouthwash is that on the two or three occasions I have used mouthwash in my life, I have thrown up every single time. It's just an extremely strong reaction from me. Just has happened every time. So historically, I haven't used mouthwash because I'm like, this makes me throw up. And the dentist was like, there's this special mouthwash that will help you with gum stuff or whatever. And I was like, okay. So last night when I went to try it, I was like, man, I'm extremely hesitant because every time I have ever done this, I've thrown up. But I smelled it and I was like, this doesn't smell awful. And I'm older than it is than I've been in
ever.
I'm older than I've been ever.
Wow.
And I dipped the very tip of my tongue into the cup just to like figure out what the taste was. And I was like, okay. I was like, this is fine. And I was able to do it mostly. My brain was not happy the entire time. My brain was like, don't like this? And I was like, well, it's a necessity, brain. And brain's like, don't like this. Don't like what's happening. And I'm like, listen, just let me do it. And I couldn't get the mouthwash into the back of my mouth because that was triggering immense gag reflex. So I was like doing my best. And I did all right, and then I spit it out, and you're not supposed to rinse with water or anything. And I was like, okay, well, this is not the worst thing in the world. It's just high up there. However, where I dipped my tongue into the mouthwash
to taste it,
this morning I have a dead taste bud there. And I'm like, that could be a coincidence. But that combined with the fact that my throat is sore, I'm like, So I'm going to give it a little bit. I'm going to give it a few days, give it a week, try it again and see if I get the exact same reaction. Because if I get the exact same reaction, that's not great. Anyway. That's my story. And also why I don't think I'm sick.
You haven't been anywhere.
I haven't been. Well, when you say it like that, it sounds like I'm sad. Like, you haven't been anywhere. And I'm like, well, I do things. You haven't seen anyone. Well, I have friends. I see them occasionally.
Yeah, you see your friends.
It's that bike ride. Yeah, it's Parodontax. Someone will know what that is. It's a mouthwash, but it's like for gum
health.
And yeah, we'll see. One of the things that I was reading about was that, like, apparently with this stuff, and I'm sure it's not just this stuff. There's a particular thing that's in it that I'm sure is in other mouthwashes, but they're like, you may know this, some things that go away over time. And one of them was a sore throat. And I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a few days and then I'll try it again. And then we'll see how I do. People can also, you can be like straight up like allergic to some of this stuff. I don't think I'm allergic. We'll see.
Dan's here.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Good morning, Dan. It's
Thursday.
It's Thursday. 6/6/24.
Oh, it's Steph's birthday.
You gotta reach out and say,
I will.
And say hello. Morning, Popsky. Yeah, Disc Only is some other time. It's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's not this coming Tuesday, but the one after.
the future. Sometime in the future. We had 13 months from Totoro Kid 9977. And 300 bits from Shy, who says, as a kid, I had to use Listerine for my gums. It's basically gargling straight alcohol, but it does come in Stories flavor. Stories flavor, which doesn't do much to help the taste. Shy says citrus. Citrus. Yeah,
I was at the doctor yesterday.
You were at the doctor yesterday.
I was at the doctor yesterday.
You were at the doctor yesterday.
I'm starting allergy immunotherapy.
Yeah. You want to talk a bit about what that is and what that means?
Well, I went in for my first shot yesterday, and they basically inject you with the things you're allergic to, and then over time, you're not allergic to them anymore.
Yeah. It's neat. Also, I have to throw in...
So many Sharp Days, Chill Days says, yep, at least once a week.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, you have to go once a week to have that done. The coolest thing about this story is that insurance is covering this.
Yeah.
I think that we're owed a W in the insurance category.
Yeah.
Because we've had so many L's.
Yep.
And it's also extremely confusing.
Yeah.
Oh, like this life-saving thing?
Renee, wow, they cover things? Yeah, I was shocked too.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so, like, that's cool. You're getting that done.
Yep. There's 4 vials of the things I'm allergic to I have to get through. And, yeah, I get 1 in each arm. Because there's 1 vial for this arm and 1 vial for this arm. And then, I was talking to a friend who's had allergy shots. And they were like, you have a lot of restrictions. Yeah, Brandon, you'll know for sure if they actually cover it next month. But I was talking to a friend who's had it, and they were like, you have so many restrictions. I was never given an EpiPen to carry around. Like, I have a restriction that's like, don't work out 1 hour before or 2 hours after your shots. If you're getting your flu or COVID vaccine, you can't have it 3 days. You have to wait 3 days before you get your next shot.
Yep. So,
and they're like, carry your EpiPen for 24 hours.
I want to know how you... So I wasn't with you at your appointment yesterday. How are you doing with the shot part of it? Are you handling that better?
I warned the person that I tend to not do well. And she's like, do you want to sit? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, these aren't too bad.
As opposed to stand?
Yes. Because when I was in there, some guy walked in for his, and he stood, and it was like, boop, boop, done. And then he had to go wait, because you have to wait 30 minutes.
I mean, I guess I can understand from the allergy shot perspective of, like, I gotta come in and get these every single week. The idea of, like, walk in, it's like a drive-through, like, boom, boom. But I've never in my entire life stood for a shot. Ever.
It was real easy. Like, I could have stood.
Okay.
Like, this is all she does all day.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
well, I mean, that's good. That's very, very good. I thought they were going to have to lay you down.
She pinched the back of my arm, and then she just, boop, done. And it's a very small needle.
Cool.
And then I had to sit in the lobby for 30 minutes and then go, hey, look at it, just to make sure, because it looks like a mosquito bite a little bit.
Yeah, I guess technically they are injecting you with the thing you're allergic to.
Yeah,
so they probably want to keep you around.
Minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the thing that could kill you. And if you could just wait out there so we make sure it doesn't kill you.
Yeah, because she's like, you have your EpiPen? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she's like, okay. She's like, after the 30 minutes are up, you need to come back in here, and I need to check if you're okay. And I marked down that you're okay. You know, the last time we saw her, she was fine. And she's like, you know, if you have a reaction, we do have epinephrine. And she's like, and then we'll take you to our, what did she say? Shot reaction room, if you have a reaction.
Love the shot reaction.
I know, right? And she's like, but it's very rare. Crescelium says, I'm assuming this is for milder allergies, not like latex. They did not test me for latex, but the allergist was like, yeah, you're definitely allergic to latex, and the shots we can't do anything about that with the shots.
Yeah, for latex, it's just kind of like, don't go around chewing on balloons or anything. Yeah. That's fair. Cage of the Quiet One says, I stood for a steroid shot in my butt once when my back was broken. I don't like that your back was broken, but I've had a steroid shot in my butt before, so I'm like, well, I might have stood for that, maybe. I don't remember. But maybe you, leaned over. I don't know. There's been many times in the doctor's office that I've leaned over. But I can't remember if it was, if that included the shots or not. Space Vixen. Real Steven Knights remember the Fallout episode where Steven was on the steroid. It was like the least interesting Fallout episode for that to happen. Where I had to solve puzzles, but I was on a steroid. It couldn't have been an episode where I got a gun and got to shoot people. No. It's the one episode in the entire series where it's you have to solve these extremely complex puzzles. And I'm like, Urgh! Yeah, that was, it was memorable, I guess. That's fine. Well, good. I'm glad that that's going well. Mao is not the only... I don't think Haley's here this morning, but Mao's not the only person going through allergy testing. Mm-hmm. Haley is also going through allergy testing. It's going. Haley's already been through the shot portion of allergy testing. And she is now on to the patch test. And she... So, what was it, Monday? I think it was Monday. So Monday, she sent me a photo. They have 40, tiny little squares on her back. And then, so all of those are, different allergens. And then, they cover all of that up with a...
Sticky plastic.
Yeah, a sticky plastic, right? So they do all of that. And... she went in yesterday. GC Nick says, Haley is small. How many patches can they even fit? They're pretty tiny.
Yeah.
They're the size of chiclets. So they're pretty small. So she has all these patches, covered it up in this film. She goes yesterday to have the film removed. So during this time, it's probably obvious, but you can't scratch it. You can't do anything and you can't have anything to try and alleviate it. So you can't have any allergy medicine or anything. She goes in yesterday to have the film removed. She still can't do anything about the patches, and the patches have to stay untouched, can't shower or anything until Friday. So it's a 4 or 5 day period. She has the film off yesterday. She's been itching like crazy. It's been very itchy. When she gets the film off, not a single square had reacted. Mm-hmm. But where the adhesive was over her back, entirely inflamed. So she's been documenting stuff for months, years, whatever, of her being allergic. Hi, Haley. We were just talking about you. About being allergic to adhesives and stuff. Yeah, you're sort of, and there's all this evidence. She has photos of all this stuff happening, and then she does the allergy test, and it's fun. Anyway, yeah. Haley, we were talking about Mal's
allergy shots,
and then we just transitioned into talking about yours. Haley says negative except for everything outside of the samples. Yep. I'm so itchy, and it's not the samples. Hate that. Sorry. Like, to an extent, you know, and this is just me being as positive as I can, data is data. So, like, that's something. But, you know, my back is red and reacting, but it's not the samples. Yeah. Sorry about that. Oh, you go back in today. Okay, cool. Well, good. Hopefully there's, you know, some more information. Yeah. So, between me with the mouthwash and you with the allergy shots and Haley with the allergy patches, there's been all sorts of fun stuff happening lately. Who else is allergic to what else? So many fun things to be allergic to. Typically, I have not been allergic to hardly anything, as far as I can tell. But the other fun thing is that you can just develop allergies. You can go your whole life and everything's fine, and then at some point your body's like, you know what? I don't like this anymore. And you're like, but why? It's like, I just don't.
Brandon says, I'm allergic to Kepler, but it's been better since I've been here.
I mean, it's exposure.
Yep.
Right? And it's different cats are different too.
Yeah, because I don't have as much trouble as I have with Kepler as I do with Chaz and Jeff's cats. But, like, I hadn't seen them as often until now.
Haley says, Alex has an allergic or heat reaction every time he showers, but he's decided it's fine and he doesn't care.
It's such an Alex thing
Yeah,
to
that
say.
sounds exactly like Alex. Like, there is a clear problem in my life and I've chosen to ignore it. Completely fine. We had 21 months from Good Fortune Coffee and 55 months from Epic DXX. Thank you both.
Yeah, Brandon said he was worse with Kepler. Chess says, our cats create so many cat particles.
It's true. Haley says, I'm like, Alex, every time you shower, your body is covered in hives. He's like, that's normal. I have many times in my long relationship with Alex, there has been times where he has said an alarming thing and followed it up with, but that's normal. And I have immediately responded with, actually no. And he goes, eh. So, like, hearing about shower hives, I'm like, that's not even far up the list. I mean, to an extent, I can understand the perspective of, like, the only body you ever live in is your own. So if you live in your own body...
Haley says, yeah, Steven, pot calling the kettle black here.
Don't get me wrong. I've got my fair share of problems, but I think Alex's denial of reality sometimes is a little extreme. But yeah, you only ever live in your body, and to an extent, like, you have your experiences, and sometimes if you haven't had a lot of experience, like talking to other people about that experience, you just get, you're like, oh, okay. This is the way a thing is. And then at some point you have a discussion with someone, or ideally you have a discussion in, like, a room of people, and then they'll be like, that's not a normal thing.
Yeah, that's how I found out about exploding head syndrome.
Yeah.
Which sounds wild if you've never heard of it, but it's when you hear a very loud noise suddenly and you hallucinate it.
Yeah.
Which is something that happens to me.
Yeah. It can also happen...
Renee, that's how I found out my childhood was crazy. Yeah, same.
That's also... that can also happen visually.
Yes. And I've had that happen visually.
I get that as well. I don't think I get it as often as you do, since you talk about it a little more frequently. Yeah, Leonard, that's not a normal thing. I mean, it's not supposed to happen. I get it visually... probably maybe like once or twice a month, and every once in a while there will be an audible sound, but usually it's visually. So what'll happen for me is like I'll be in the process of falling asleep, and then it's like someone hit
strobe light.
Yeah, someone hit like a Men in Black neuralizer in the room, and the entire room is just bright white. And like that obviously didn't happen.
Because you've asked me, like, did the lights just turn on?
Yeah, like it's so realistic sometimes that, and like my eyes are shut. It's so realistic sometimes that like it feels like there was, you know, lightning inside of the room. Yeah, that probably happens like once a month, something like that. But yeah, the Audible one, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that really sucks. And sometimes they go hand in hand too. Like you hear a loud noise and you see the thing. You know what? I do normally get the Audible with the light, but you know what it sounds like? It sounds like a light switch turning on or off, but very aggressively. So I'll hear a sound that's like, and then my entire world would be like white. Yeah. Learner says, I have the Audible version, and it's just like a brief mini heart attack before bed for funsies. Yeah, that sounds like now. Yeah.
Mine sounds like a bunch of plates dropping on the ground and shattering.
And Tappet says, is this not tinnitus? So that's another one where only like super, super recently I've looked into tinnitus just a little bit and was like, wait a minute. I thought everyone had this. But actually, no. You ever hear sounds that are not there? And you're just like, oh, that's just the thing that happens. That's just like your brain or your ears like farting, you know? Like it just makes this like really weird high-pitched hum occasionally. Everyone deals with that. But actually, no. See, it comes back to the thing of like, you know,
you only live in your own body.
You only live in your own body. So like you experience the world in a certain way, and like it can, you know, the other thing is that if you learn about something as a child, there's a good chance that your parents have this thing because it's like a genetic thing that's being passed down. So what happens is you experience something as a child and you bring it to your parents because they're your caretakers, and you're like, there's this strange thing that happened. And then your parents are like, ah, that's just a thing that happens because that happened to them. And it happened to, like, so then as a child, you're like, oh, okay. Then that's just, you know, it takes 30 years before you're talking to people and the entire room of people is like, that doesn't happen with me. And you're like, what? But everyone deals with that. Whether that's tinnitus or exploding head syndrome or depression or anxiety, like there's a lot of things where it can just be like, there's this thing that's happening. And your parents may be like, oh, that happens to me too. Everyone deals with that. And then you go, okay, now I know that this abnormal thing is completely fine. Anyway, we're doing the best we can. We got 19 months from Risen1247 and 55 months from Triforce Drummer. Let me use this as an opportunity, though, to remind everyone that if something does feel just a little bit off, look into it. Or talk to a few other people that you know and ask them, do you experience this as well? Talk to a doctor. Talk to a therapist. There might be a chance that the thing that you're experiencing isn't like a normal thing. GC Nick says, I don't need to see a doctor. I just literally run from my problems.
Nick, it's been a while since I've gotten an update about that, by the way, so curious how you're doing.
Yeah. Anyway, breakfast stream is always wild because, like, we don't know what... There's at least one breakfast stream a month that does feel a little like breakfast therapy, and that's just part of the show. That's just what happens. Jam says, but what if their answer is, oh god, no wait, you experience that all the time? Why haven't you seen someone? And the response to that is, I've went X many years and assumed it was normal. Assumed it was fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But otherwise, things are going okay.
Yeah.
Things are fine. Things are all right.
I went for a 50K bike ride on Sunday.
Your first 50K.
Yep.
Jesus. That's good. Like, I black out every time I shower. Stand up, doctor. Have you considered it's because you're a woman? That's a whole other breakfast stream. The downplaying of women's problems because it's like, you're a woman.
We didn't study women bodies. Just male bodies.
That's so alarmingly true, and like even into just super recent stuff. Because Mao was reading about something the other day where, what was it you were talking about? It's like they hadn't studied, I forget what it was, but like it was just, they had only started studying women's bodies for this specific problem in like the last like...
cycling. The saddle.
Oh yeah. It was,
seat.
For cycling.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, and this may surprise everyone, the seat that you sit on is important. And since anatomy is different, it could be beneficial to have seats that are slightly different.
I was reading an article for some of the top female cyclists and how they've done research only lately about how, like, you know, we could redesign saddles for women.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, some of the top women coming out and saying, like, hey, I've had problems too. And then doing some actual research and designing new saddles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're working on it. Society is working on it. Extremely slowly, but working on it. Crescelium says, are we though? Not in everything, and not at a speed that is acceptable.
Change is glacial.
Ain't that the truth? Anyway, I saw that, yeah. Women are pretty new, though, so it makes sense. We just got women, like, how long ago? It's I think, like, 1990, maybe, which was 10 years ago. Don't anyone correct me on that time. Gotta wait for the patch updates. Women DLC. Wake up, babe. New woman just dropped.
There's a very good episode of Last Week Tonight about women in the medical field and dealing with stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's work in progress. Anyway.
Yeah, they go into that too, Nick, in the episode about racial biases in the medical field.
Yeah, that's also extremely bad. Extremely, with a capital E bad. Yeah, we're, society, there is, you can't act like there's not progress, because there is, but darn it's slow. Darn it's slow. Anyway, to change the subject slightly, I saw, and I think maybe Anise had asked how Keppo was doing, and I realized we haven't talked about Kep in a bit. It might be good to give a slight update about how he's doing.
Is he downstairs? He must be.
I think he's downstairs. He's been doing relatively well. Relatively well. In the last, few days, he's been a little weird with his food habits. Not in, an alarming way, but just,
Buddy.
And the difficult part is it's hard to know if when you're a cat owner, I guess this would work with dogs too, but especially cats. There's this mentality of have I ruined this cat by giving in to his demands? Because a cat will be like, oh, well, now I only want to eat this if you do this, or I will only have this specific food or whatever.
Now I am picky.
And the hard thing with Kep's condition is that he has to eat. So if he's not eating, I have to do something to get him to eat. And then in the last few days, he won't eat his dry food at all, unless I'm putting one of his treats on it. So then the question becomes, okay, is it that I've made him picky by doing this because
catering to his demands?
Because I'm catering to his demands, which is a thing that can happen with cats very easily. Mm-hmm. Or is it his stomach where,
he's nauseous.
He's nauseous and doesn't really want to eat, but he's still hungry and his brain is still I should eat. And then I have to get him into that mindset by giving him a treat. It's I don't know. I don't know. Because, it's this weird, intersection of he's a cat, but also he has disease. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'm not worried super in a super big way right now because he is eating. And that's the most important thing is that I try and maintain his weight. But
and that's what the vet says. Try and maintain his weight. Here's an appetite stimulant if you need it to see if that helps.
Yeah.
Call us if it doesn't.
Yeah. So if it gets bad, then I can call the vet. He says, trust me, if anyone has the vet on speed dial, it's Stephen and Mal. Yeah. So yeah, we're monitoring it, but yeah, the last 3 days have been super weird. Yesterday specifically was wild. He was bad. He was and it's not necessarily his fault, but it's a wild thing when I'm when he's please, I would like to eat, and I'm your bowl is full of food. Please eat that. No. Put some sprinkles on it. Only when I have the sprinkles. Only then. Anyway. We got 300 bits from Shy. Says, the heck happened to this place? Society happened. Damn you, society, and your vague consequences. Oh, society.
Enlightening a toy isn't complete without Tiny Eddie Zoops. All puddings.
You just remembered, didn't you?
Yeah! I just remembered! I have pudding! I have a box that has pudding in it. Well, it doesn't have pudding in it. It has part of pudding in it.
All of the ingredients but one.
Yes. I need to do that.
Yes.
We get 1,000 bits from Ow, my dude. Says, maybe Tiny Eddie has something Kep is sure to love. I mean,
he does like enlightening toys. With his claws.
I was also gonna say the Upsal pudding can be churro.
Churu?
Churu.
Cat pudding.
Cat pudding.
Mm-hmm.
Churu. I really want to eat pudding. Okay. So I'm thinking about what time.
It does need to cool. For a while.
Remind me at 1 p.m. to create pudding. This is great. This is going to be a great day. Yeah, I guess I could have put, like, make pudding. Create the concept of pudding. Invent pudding. What pudding flavor did you get?
Chocolate.
Are there types
There's a few.
of chocolate?
No, there were not.
Okay. And I says, but you just had pudding for my birthday. No. I mean, technically, yes, there was a thin layer of vanilla pudding on
The cake.
that cake. Different than normal pudding. There was yes, Haley, but I wasn't eating pudding. I was eating cake that had some pudding in it. It's not the same. It's not the same. Certainly, and you have to at least admit this, certainly a very completely different mouthfeel. Like texturally. Thank you, Chaz. It did not activate my pudding neurons. Haley, men invalidating women's pudding work for generations. That Haley's cake texturally was an experience, especially for someone like myself who has different texture brain things. That was a wild thing to eat. My brain was not sure what was happening. It was like, what is this? What am I? What's happening?
I agree, Andy. Who says, I'm surprised you like pudding with its texture.
Honestly, same. Completely same.
Ooh, Haley.
Haley, holy crap! Yep, your brain is a different texture. Smooth. Jeez.
Face on your brain is pudding.
Jeez. I think I should just go. I think you should just finish the stream. Oh no. And yet, that doesn't in any way not make me want that pudding. Still want that pudding. I saw someone mention butterscotch pudding, and I have only had butterscotch pudding like once or twice, and I remember it very vividly. And I want to have it again, but I want to have chocolate pudding first. I want to do that, and then have some
See, I never
pudding.
liked tapioca. Nick says, I love tapioca. My grandmother, my mom's mom, loved tapioca.
I don't know that I've ever had tapioca pudding.
It has bumps in it. It's
Vile, disease-ridden bumps.
It has lumps. It has tapioca pearls, like tiny frog eggs. Yeah, it's...
I'm not really sure what you're trying to do. Are you trying to persuade me to not eat it?
I didn't like it.
Because, like, Haley says if you've had boba, you've had tapioca, which I know that's tapioca.
I don't hate tapioca
and I've had boba.
But, like, as a child, tapioca pudding was disgusting.
So, like, it has tiny boba balls in it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the 1961 Goldsboro crash.
So, probably
tapioca.
fine. So, what's the balls? What's the name? What am I thinking?
Like, it's lumpy.
It is. I mean, it is lumpy.
And I did not like that as a child.
What's the flavor? Tapioca has its own flavor?
I don't know.
Or is it like vanilla with balls?
I don't know the answer to that. I haven't had tapioca pudding since I was like 12.
Man, sorry. I said vanilla with balls, and I just came up with so many Friday jokes and immediately dropped them all. I was like, well, I'm funny, but in my mind.
He doesn't like whipped cream, though. Why would he like tapioca pudding?
I like I've drank a boba. Like, boba's not my favorite thing. Not in a way that I don't like it. It's fine, but I just feel like it's fine. Because there's some folks that, like, really, really like boba. And to me, I'm just like, it's fine. It's fine. I would generally rather, I think I'd rather not have the tapioca at the bottom. Because it's like it takes a while to get it out. I think I'd rather just drink a drink. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm around people that are like, let's go get boba, then I'll be like, okay, I'll get boba. But if I'm not, it's not something I would just on my own go get. I would get like a smoothie or something. Because then it just all comes up the straw. If I wanted to have difficulties sucking, I would get a McDonald's milkshake. A social boba only. We had 5 gift subs from Midna Koopa. Midna Koopa, thank you. They went to Moist Crunchy Potato, Lesio 8, Yami Biko, Quiet Kokiri, and Colin the Game Boy. Thank you for the morning gift subs. And also 15 months from Retroliz. Brab, that's how I feel about sour cream. Sour cream it's fine. I like it in
extreme moderation.
Relatively small doses.
When Steven makes tacos, he puts the sour cream on first and spreads it very thinly, so there's not like big clumps of it.
Yeah. The only time the time that I
and you do not like it when I just lick it off the spoon after.
Oh yeah, Mal will just eat an entire spoonful of sour cream, and I'm just like,
you don't want to waste any when you put the spoon in the sink.
It's okay. Listen, you do the trick to get it as much off the spoon as you can, and then like, I don't want to. The thing that makes me ingest the most sour cream at once? Quesadillas. Because if I have a quesadilla and they give you like the little dipping thing of sour cream, I will dip it in sour cream. There's generally a fair bit of sour cream on there.
Well, they never give me enough sour cream.
And that's like the most... Haley says, to be fair, Mal puts a horrifying amount of sour cream on, but I love that for her. I mean, I like it when people have something that brings them joy.
It's one of the reasons I love pierogies.
Just because it's a way of getting sour cream into your body.
Yes. Like, my dad likes to take pizza rolls and dip them in sour cream. Like, that's the sauce my dad puts with pizza rolls.
A sour cream delivery system. That's the way I am with mustard. Like, anything that can have mustard on it should have mustard on it, and probably way more than the average person wants. But I also just really, really like mustard. Mustard stings. Like, if you like yellow mustard, or especially like obviously like spicy brown or horseradish, like it like hurts, and I really like that. I don't know what that says about me as a person. Cheese Hammer gifted a sub to Pudding Balls. Pudding Balls was my nickname in college. All right.
I'm wearing a Wisconsin shirt. It says Old Fashioned Fish Fries and Supper Clubs.
That's a good shirt. It's a very, very good shirt. Yeah, Air Dash. There we are. we had 2 very specific topics this morning, and it was a pretty big shift. Like, pretty big, like. It's fine. It's totally fine. Did we run? No.
No.
Let's do that. Beans are fresh. They're all fresh and new and correct, and that's good. We like that. By the way, related to that, there is a new Patreon video. If you have not seen it, patrons, go check it out. It talks about some things coming up, and also some things. Like, how much do I reveal? I don't know. There are things. You can watch it for things. Spoilers for Patreon vids. Steven's talking in it. You've spoiled every Patreon video. It's true. Other things to announce or talk about. Are you streaming in the morning?
I am.
11 a.m.? Mm-hmm. 11 a.m. Mao is doing...
Painting. You
finished Nautical Dawn.
Yep.
You haven't started the next one yet?
Nope.
That's what you'll be doing tomorrow?
Yep.
Oh, that'll be nice. Okay, so in the morning at 11, Mao's going to be starting a new painting. Good time to tune in. And you've been working on 8x10s.
Yes, I have.
What has that been like for you, since that's not a typical size you've done in the past?
There's things I like about it, but it's also very small.
So it goes faster.
Yes.
It's also very limiting in some ways.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand. And I know that Mao has finished several paintings at this point, and they're not like on Redbubble or eBay, but that'll be coming in the very near future.
Yeah.
So we'll let y'all know. Breakfast Stream is a place we'll definitely let folks know. So if you're here, you'll find out. And then otherwise, tomorrow at 8 p.m., Zelda.
Yep.
We are... We might be close and or ready to start doing some shrine stuff. I think. Because I think we're like real close to getting real close to the end of main quest. So yeah. I don't know for sure that Tears of the Kingdom is it is longer than Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
And I know that we just hit like the same number of streams because we did our 44th stream, which is how many streams it took to finish Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But the Breath of the Wild streams were also like longer. You know, we usually did more gameplay sessions. So yeah. Liberty KJ says you are 51% done with what you should do before the end. Nope. Yeah, Chaz, LOL, nope. Absolutely not. Because that would imply, like, just one more year. First off, no. Not going to do another year of Zelda. We got too many other games that we want to play. But also, no. Like, I know that we're getting close to the end of the main quest. And we have, like, 100 shrines. So the only way that could possibly be true, that we would be halfway done, is if we were going to do everything. If we were going to, like, lick every inch of the depths and make every piece of armor. Liberty Cage says, I'm not saying doing everything. Don't get me wrong, like, Tears of the Kingdom does strike me as the sort of game that you could put easily, like, several hundred hours in to do every single thing, but, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. I also don't find a lot of the side quest stuff, and I felt the same way in Breath of the Wild, but this also in Tears of the Kingdom. I don't feel like a lot of the side quest stuff in in either of these games is very, like, worthwhile. Because a lot of times the things that you get are just items you can get anyway. You know? Like, it's different if you get, like, a map or a piece of clothing or something, right? But, like, to not get anything unique, I'm like, that's just not worth doing. That's how I feel about these, like, any video game like that. Like, if I'm going to play an RPG and a person is like, I want you to go find my sheep. And I do that, and he's like, here's $50. I'm like, that was a waste of my time. Because I can get $50 doing something else. When I come back, I want you to be like, here's a special sheep rod that turns enemies into a ram. Like, then I'm like, okay, that's worthwhile. I want I want magic items every single time. Every time. We also had 64 months from Gadzooks. Thank you. Brandon says, to me, the side quests are fun to do incidentally, not intentionally. That's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. Yeah, and that just runs the gamut of all video games, I think. Like, I want to do things that give me, like, either extremely rare items in a game. Like, one of the things I'm playing right now, and then we'll wrap up, because there's a vlog out. I've been playing Golden Sun, and the Phoenix Down item in the game, the thing that revives your party members, is called, I think it's Water of Life. And you can't buy them. You can't buy them, and they are exceptionally rare. Like, extremely rare. And that's worthwhile. Like, I just did a quest, and one of the things I got at the end of the quest was Water of Life. And I was like, okay.
Worth it.
Sure. You know, that's an item that's not a unique item, but it's so exceptionally rare. And Vagabond says, will you use them? Absolutely not. No, I will hold on to every single one until the final battle, and then not need them. Did I tell everyone that when I recently played through Mother 3...
You did not tell everyone, no.
That I acquired every... I'm not going to explain what this is, because I don't want to even, like, potentially spoil anyone, so I'll just be vague, and the people that know will know. I acquired every memento in the game. And then, I left them all in storage.
And finished the game. And never used a single one.
And I told myself, I saw the item man, and I thought to myself, I wonder if this is the final item man.
Surely not.
Surely not. And then I went on my way, and it turns out it was. It was the final item man. So all of the items I had kept in storage the whole game were there. Oopsie doodle. At least next month when Josh starts Mother 3, I'll be able to be like, hey, this is the final item guy. I wish he would say something. That means you extra one. Yeah, I did. I extra one. I never had a game over, and my individual party members only died in that game like 4 or 5 times. Like, I did really, really well, but I was also planning to use those things. Never mind. Alright, okay. That's it.
That's it.
There's a vlog out. You can go watch it. And, I guess you'll be back tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
I'll be back tomorrow morning at,
11
a.m. So join her at twitch.tv/malmakes for that in the morning. See you then.